All right, so I am excited to introduce you to this next guest. And I'm always excited to introduce you to my guests because they're just amazing, incredible people who are doing amazing, incredible things in our world. And I just love being able to share them with you. You know what? Monique, I forgot to ask you, how do you pronounce your last name?
It's pronounced Idemudia.
Idemudia. All right, so I have Monique Idemudia with us. That is a beautiful name, and I'm really excited for her to be here because we are both in a similar world. So our listeners are really going to get a whole lot of amazing marketing information today, and this is just fun. I love talking with fellow marketing people because we can just bounce cool ideas off of each other. It's kind of like having a recorded mastermind that other people get to tap into. So, Monique Idemudia is the founder of Dragon Digital Marketing. We have a lizard theme going on here. It's cool. They're a digital marketing agency for small business owners, and she's based out of St. Petersburg, Florida. She's super passionate about inspiring business owners to build an online presence and grow their business with the power of great digital marketing. She is an execution driven consultant and specializes in inbound marketing strategies, which with small business owners help small business owners to scale and scale more effectively, I guess, and um, more consistently so that they can plan for it better. We're not just all of a sudden taking on 30 new accounts. We're taking on maybe 30 is our goal, but we're taking on 5 this month and 10 next month and 15, and we're building up to it in a very scalable way when we leverage inbound marketing techniques. So without further ado, Monique, thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Terry. I'm very excited and I'm honored to be on your show.
Yes, yes. So talk to us, why digital marketing?
Oh, I love digital marketing. I think it has so many benefits over traditional marketing because you get all of this data that you can analyze and you can make better informed decisions with all of the marketing analytics. And marketing is no longer like this black box approach where you do something and then you see the results that you're getting, but you can't really attribute it to the different channels. And it's hard to decide where to put the most budget and how to allocate your resources and everything. So yeah, digital marketing, it allows you to automate certain tasks. It allows you just to scale better and to plan better and to make data driven decisions. That's what I love so much about it. Yes.
So you are an analytical creature. You just love to look at what is working and let me show me the numbers, right?
That's right.
I
Yeah.
love it. A woman after my own heart. That's fantastic. So in this world of digital marketing, it for a long time was really the Wild West. Like there wasn't a lot of rules or regulations. There wasn't a lot of control over different things. There really wasn't a lot of analytics at that time. There is now, but there's also this GDPR, and that's something that we're starting to take into account here. There's all sorts of things in litigation on the Supreme Court level about monitoring and tracking and leveraging that data. Do you foresee that stuff being a challenge for digital marketing?
Not really. I think, transparency is always the right way to go about things. So you don't want to sell people's data to third parties without getting their consent and without, letting them know. So you want to be really transparent. Make sure you have all the legal pages that you're required to have on your website, like a terms of use or terms of service, a privacy policy, a cookie policy, and make it informative. For example, mine on my website is almost like a blog post that also educates people about what is this tracking all about and what different tracking technologies out there. There's web beacons, there's cookies, and what is what, and how long do you store the data, and what do you use it for. And then I think you're going to be fine. I think it's good to be fair to our users and to consumers because our data is valuable. It's very valuable. A lot of businesses, a lot of people make a whole lot of money with collecting and storing people's data. So we live in digital world that's all about data and technology. So people have a right to, to not only know what happens to their data, but also what data you get and what you do with it, and protect it and make decisions, and also be able to say no if they're not okay with something. So I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think that's a good move that we see right now happening. So I see it positively, because I also think of it from a consumer perspective, not just as a marketer, but also as a person.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. As a person, I'm like, oh, thank goodness I can finally tell somebody, no, you cannot have that. Have a nice day.
Exactly.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
As a marketer, I'm like, damn it. It's a little harder to build that email list now because people are like, oh, so you're going to have my email and you're going to send me a bunch of stuff. I don't know if I want to get on your email. And it's like, well, I only send one email a week, whereas other people are sending an email every day, right? So have you seen a difference in terms of there's a lot of different things we can do in the digital world for digital marketing? Have you seen certain ones be more effective than others, especially this year?
I think, quality is more important than quantity. So now that people give you their consent and you get an opt-in, or even better, a double opt-in, to add people to your email list, you'll see higher open rates, you'll see better engagement. Your server is going to get a better reputation, so your emails land in people's inboxes more often, actually not in the spam folder or promotional tab or whatever. So yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Okay. So have you found that email marketing is still really effective, or are there other forms of digital marketing that are more effective in today's world?
Oh, email marketing is actually the most effective form of digital marketing. It's definitely not dead. It's definitely still very effective. You get the highest ROI out of email marketing. On average, that's $42 that you get back for every dollar that you invest in email marketing. So the money's in the list. It's not just a saying; it's actually true. And the reason why is that your email audience, it's a warm audience. Those people know you, they like you, they trust you, they signed up for your newsletter, they're familiar with you. And that's why it's so much more effective than marketing to a cold audience with paid advertising or whatever, for example. So email marketing, very effective. And also a reason why it is so profitable and effective is because it's so low cost. So you have amazing margins. It doesn't cost you a lot to sign up for an email marketing tool and send out emails and create a strategy to do that. So, yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. I have found that to be true as well, especially this year. There's just so much inundation in the social spaces. Everybody's there all of a sudden. Everybody's there. And it makes it very hard to win the click, win the engagement, and cut through all of the noise, because you really have to have something unique to get people to stop and pay attention to what you have to say, and in the digital, like, social media spaces. But when you're in somebody's inbox, it's a little less crowded space. I mean, some people's inboxes are still pretty crowded, but not all of them. So that's great to know. Thank you. What's one of the challenges that you, as a female business owner in the digital world, what's one of the challenges that you've had to overcome in business?
Yeah, so one challenge I think is still the understanding of how important it is to be more digital and to be open to newer, more modern approaches and market your business online. A lot of small business owners are like boomers, or like not our generation, and there's still some skepticism about it. People don't really trust it always. I mean, it's gotten a lot better with COVID and everything going on. Every downside has its upsides too, so people have become a lot more open to it. And yeah, just try it out and give it a chance. And then also I see a challenge with people being all about instant gratification and wanting to see results too soon, and having unrealistic expectations with how soon they can see a return on investment on their marketing efforts, especially with inbound marketing. It takes longer because it's organic, but it's, so much higher quality traffic and leads that you get. And then, also the effectiveness snowballs and it becomes bigger and bigger because you keep on building on it, versus if you do paid marketing, paid advertising, you always pay per click, and once you stop paying, you stop seeing results and everything is gone. You don't really build anything, right? Versus if you build an audience through content and putting yourself out there, it's a lot more long lasting, and yeah, benefits you in the long term as well. So those, I would say, are the two main challenges that I see.
Sure, education and trust, and I think with more education comes more trust. And we've all heard the stories. We're both in the same marketing, consulting, marketing coaching kind of space. I mean, we've heard the stories of the people who've worked with a digital agency and they got burned, right? And so that works against credibility of agencies and digital marketing consultants or coaches. And I would say, is there a question, or is there something a business owner can do to help them forgive the situation that maybe they had experienced that had burned them, so that they don't carry that into future relationships, and also learn from those experiences so that they can better prepare themselves or better protect themselves or set better expectations of their digital agency? And what might those be?
Absolutely. Yes. That's a great point, and you've already touched upon it. So it's all about the education. The more you know about something and the more you're educated about something, the more informed decisions you can make. And you can determine, okay, is this person actually an expert? Are they trustworthy? Is what they're promising me, what they're selling me on, realistic? And do they know what they're doing? How about the price performance ratio? All of those things, all of those questions. So if you just invest a little bit of time and get some basic knowledge, so you can, understand the basics, and you're dangerous enough, so to speak, not to be fooled. That's amazing. That's why I'm also so big on education, and I, make videos, and I have an online course and everything teaching people. I think that it's really important, and it's always very dangerous to fully rely on someone else to do something for you and
Mhm.
to trust with your business. It's convenient to say, oh, I have a guy for that, or I have a gal for that. She handles that for me. But you should have some basic knowledge about what it is that that person is doing, and understand the reports that they give you, understand the progress, and yeah, so that's really important, and that's how you make sure you don't get burned again. I'm so sorry for the people who get burned. I hear that a lot too. There's just a lot of scammers and gurus out there that just yeah,
Well, and
say
just like with any industry, right, Monique, there's a lot of misinformation in the marketing space, just like
absolutely.
there's a lot of misinformation in just about any industry out there. So that's definitely a challenge that business owners face. Is, first of all, you want to be, proactive. You want to think and ask the right questions. You want to have somebody who has your best interest at heart. And also, you might be under a time crunch because there's a capacity issue that you're facing. You might be under a budget crunch. So there's a financial component that you're facing. You might just be under pressure to just get this off of your plate. And you made an excellent point. You never want to be so removed from whatever anybody else is doing for you in your business that you don't know how to hold them accountable. Like, even when it comes to accountants and bookkeeping, right? You want to know at least the basics, the rough things about accounting and bookkeeping, so that you can look at your accounts and your books and know that the money that's there is the money that should be there, so that you know that they're not embezzling, because that happens, right? And I think the same goes for the digital marketing stuff. And I'm sorry, my dog is about to bark. If if a business owner is thinking about bringing on a digital agency, are there some things that they should have in place to prepare for the conversations that they're going to have with their digital agency?
Oh, yes, there's definitely a couple of things that are very, very helpful and beneficial if they have it in place. So, one thing I would say would be a buyer persona. Have buyer personas ready and really know your target audience and have researched that and have that all in one document. Have SOPs for all of your tasks that you do in your operations that you're ready to share, templates. About your brand, your brand language, your brand voice, everything, how we're gonna go about everything, create everything, templates for your social media posts, for your images. Definitely have a branding guide with like the hex code of your colors that you use, what fonts you use, and so on and so forth. Have high quality files of your logo ready. Yeah, that I would say is very helpful if business owners have that.
Oh, that's such a great checklist. So, everybody who's listening, I want you to right now pause this conversation, rewind it a couple of minutes, and take a listen to that checklist. Write that checklist down. If you realize that you don't know what some of these terms mean, get in touch with either myself or Monique. And Monique, what's the best way for them to reach out to you to seek guidance on what some of those terms mean?
That would be my website, and that's dragon-digital-marketing.com. But I'm happy to explain it. If
Yeah.
you have time, I'm happy to explain it.
Yeah, and we might do that. I do want to though make sure you write down that checklist because I talk about this a lot as a marketing coach, as a strategic planner. So we're different and we're the same in a lot of ways. So my goal or my objective with small business owners is to assist them in understanding what each of those things are, finding that target market, finding their brand messaging, finding their core values, their mission, their vision, their value statements, so that they can have that effective communication, know what they want to say, and know who they're saying it to. So that all, when they're working with a digital agency, all the digital agency has to really do is come up with the creative behind it, and that makes it so much easier for the digital agency to do what they need to do and to produce results for the client, right? And it makes it so the client never loses their voice in the social space or in the email space or on their website when they have another person managing it for them. They have had control over what that language looks like. So I assist with that component of it, and you going through that checklist is just a critical piece. This is what I talk about all the time with my business owners, is having some working document, something that your agency can work off of to build from. Because if we don't have that, we're kind of going in blind. You're going in blind without it. And that makes it really hard for you to achieve any of the goals or outcomes that that client might actually have in mind for their business on the digital front. So,
Exactly.
yeah, you had mentioned earlier expectations and timelines for digital marketing and for results of digital marketing. What is the proper expectation for somebody comes to you, they're going to pay you a monthly fee to do their marketing? What's a realistic timeline for them to start seeing some kind of result from that?
Yes, so it depends on what you do, right? Digital marketing is a head term. It incorporates a lot of different things. Let's say SEO, for example, it can take 6 to 12 months to really see major results that move the needle because it just takes that time to build that. With content marketing in general, it can really take 6 months up to a year until you get all of you get the effect and you get the amount of traffic there and everything. With paid advertising, you can see results pretty much instantly because you're paying for it. Therefore, when you stop paying, though, everything's going to stop and just end. But it's also going to take you a couple of months to figure out and to tweak to find like the sweet spot in your messaging and in your visuals and in your targeting with your audience and everything to make them really effective and really profitable. It can take you like 3 months. I would say is a good expectation to have there. With email marketing, obviously your list is warm. That is a lot faster. That is pretty much instantly as well. It also doesn't take as long to build out an email strategy. Same with social media marketing. That's pretty much instant. you strategize and you map everything out and you create that plan of action and what you set goals of what you want to achieve, map it all out, start posting, and then you're going to see the engagement and your following and increasing and everything, and also your traffic increasing from that pretty much instantly. So yeah, it depends on the channel and the strategy and what it is that you're actually doing a lot. But also for the things that take a long time, don't just disregard them and overlook them, because it's really powerful, and you're in it for the long run. Your business is hopefully going to be there many years from now still, and the time's going to pass anyways, whether you invest in it or whether you don't and you spent the money otherwise. So it's definitely worth giving it a try, to really reap the rewards afterwards, and you're going to be so happy that you did it and that you invested in it and stayed consistent for such a long time, because it can really take your business to a new level and help you reach new heights if you have a good marketing strategy that's omni-channel and that's multifaceted, and yeah, not putting all of your eggs in one basket and always going for like the short answer and the instant gratification thing.
That is such a great tip, that it is important to diversify. I love to use a financial term here. We've got to diversify our marketing portfolios. And the more diverse you become, the more stable and consistent your business becomes, because your leads get to become very consistent. If you only focus on short-term strategies, or as they say in the financial world, short-term gains, then you're not really creating anything for long-term success. You're only ensuring next week, next month, short-term success if you only focus on short-term strategies. You mentioned social media, and social media is something that's really interesting right now. Like we mentioned earlier, it's a very busy space. So with social media, most of the time, the people that are in our social media are people who already know, like, and trust us. Have you found different techniques or ways to get people to better engage with social media content, especially in today's world?
Yes, absolutely. So, one strategy is to post less self promotional stuff and to be less salesy and just provide value in your posts, even to the point where you're not even sharing a link in your post that says, like, learn more and leads people to your website. Because the social platforms, their algorithms actually punish that, because their goal is to keep people on the platform. So, they're rewarding people who post things that keep people on the platform longer. For example, like video posts are super popular, or just text posts or an image or text with an image that doesn't have a link, and you're not trying to drive people away to a different platform or to your website or to a competitive platform, so to speak. At the end of the day, all of those social media platforms, they're competitors and they're competing. So yeah, so that will definitely not only increase your organic reach significantly, but also your engagement, because you don't want something from people at that moment. You're just engaging with them and you're just being social. Actually, that's what social media is for. So ask questions and engage with your audience, just care, and yeah, care about them and ask about them. It's a two-way communication, not just you talking at them and posting all of your offers and sharing your newest blog posts or whatever. So really make it about them more, and you're going to see an increase in engagement and reach as well.
That's a fantastic tip, and is 100% true. The more you can make it about your audience, the more you can engage. Like, what do they want to know? Why? What do they need to know about your industry? Why should they care about that stuff? The more you can target on that, the more likely they are to engage with the stuff that you're sharing. And yeah, I've seen that to be true too. You want to use the off site links as little as possible, especially in the Facebook space. Facebook really doesn't like you
Oh,
sharing links from outside. um when it comes, what about hashtags? Like, have you seen a change in the hashtag strategy, and if so, what kind of light can you shed for us on that?
yeah, so different platforms prioritize hashtags in a different way. For example, on LinkedIn, I don't see it making a huge impact. I don't see a lot of posts maybe not even any posts at all because of hashtags. I see them because people that I know or people in my network, maybe that are like second grade connections or whatever, have liked something or commented on something or share something. That's what LinkedIn recommends to you and shows to you in the feed. So it's not all about hashtags. For example, Instagram though, so much more about hashtags. And then you have to do hashtag research actually and find that balance between the popular hashtags where a lot of people have a chance to see your post and there's a lot of content posted with these hashtags, but therefore the lifetime of your post under that hashtag, so to speak, is a lot shorter because just a few seconds, sometimes seconds or minutes later, your post is already buried like all the way down the bottom where nobody scrolls anymore. And then balance that out with hashtags that are not as popular, and not as many people use them, but therefore also not as many people get to see your post. So have it, yeah, make it like a healthy balance of hashtags that are relevant and have like a list and keep track of that and strategically use them.
That's a great tip. And it is important to know that different platforms do grade hashtags differently. So like Instagram is a hashtag whore. They love hashtags, but Facebook doesn't really care that much. They only want you to use a couple. Twitter doesn't want you to use like any because they have such short phrases that you can use anyway. I have seen hashtags on LinkedIn, but I've only ever seen like two or three on a post. It's not like hashtag crazy. So we were watching something the other day, and one of the characters in the show that we were watching had mentioned if you use a lot of hashtags, it feels very desperate. It feels very inauthentic. It feels like you're thirsting for the attention. So you might want to just kind of pay attention to how many hashtags are you using, where are you using them, and how frequently are you using them? Because you might want to change up some of that strategy from time to time to help you either be more authentically you or maybe get more attention on the things that you're doing because you are being authentically you, but it's not getting the attention that it deserves all the time. So varying up that strategy is definitely a good tip. Thank you, Monique. I appreciate that. Have you guys found there is a sweet spot in terms of frequency of posting on social networks?
Really depends on the platform. With YouTube, I've heard a lot that if you post more frequently, you see better results. So if you start a new YouTube channel, it's beneficial if you can post 2, 3 times a week and be consistent with it and stick consistent with it, even to the point where you post at the same days and the same times of day. For example, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 7 a.m. And then you always upload 7 a.m. and don't make it sometimes, I don't know, 11 a.m. or 4 p.m. or whatever. So apparently the YouTube algorithm is very strict when it comes to that consistency with other channels as well. But yeah, they're really smart. Like they got smart technology behind that. If you post low quality stuff all the time, it can also actually hurt you. And yeah, everything cancels each other out and you just dilute all of the marketing power. Same with if you use too many hashtags, you're actually going to see better result if you use less, and your audience is also going to perceive it if better if you use less and it's not coming up as that desperate. So yeah, post a couple times a week and make your posts high quality. Engagement counts, so how your audience actually interacts and perceives the post counts. And yeah, it's definitely quality over quantity. Posting too much can also hurt you. Posting the same thing over and over and over again can also hurt you because it's nothing new and it doesn't add value. So think about how you can serve your audience in the best possible way and provide them the most value. And the platform's also going to favor that because then it's like a mutual interest. That's what they also want, right? They want an amazing user experience. And if you can deliver that, it's going to be well aligned and you're going to make sure that you get the best possible performance that you can get from your efforts.
I love it. We are aligned in how we think in our social media strategies. It's fantastic. Like I always tell people, social media is a window into your day-to-day operations. So if you think about your business has a storefront and there's a giant window, When people are on the street walking by your business, what might they be seeing when they look in that window? That's the kind of stuff that you should be sharing in your social media. What might they experience when they walk into your shop? That's the kind of stuff that you should be sharing in your social media, because those engagements, especially in today's space, are only happening in the digital space. So we have to open up that window, open up your curtains, open up your window, and don't only have those giant neon signs that say sale, 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 because people tune those out. What we want to see is what else is going on inside that business. What kind of relationships are happening? What strategic relationships do you have? What specials do you have running? How do you make your product? Why do you make your product? And if you can share some of that information, that's going to definitely help along the way. So thank you. Appreciate that. You know, I think it would be helpful, because I don't know about you, but I get this question a lot. Social media takes so much time. Is there a way to make it easier, faster, less time intrusive? I get that one.
Yes, if you plan it, if you map it out and you really create a social media marketing strategy, and you decide on what to post when, and you decide on post categories. For example, I don't know, one post is like fun facts, and then one other post categories like quotes and inspirational content, one other post categories like infographics, one like this, do it like this and map it out, and then just distribute it over your weeks, months, year, however you want to structure your content calendar, and like really have a content calendar of what you're going to post when, on what platform, with which hashtags, and so on and so forth. You can use Trello for that. So that's a great tool where you have those columns. So you can use the Kanban system and have it all, have an overview of everything that you're planning to do all at one glance in your dashboard. And then there's also tools with which you can pre-schedule your social media posts. You don't actually have to like set an alarm and remember to post every single day, but you can pre-schedule them so your posts automatically go live at the day and time that you set them to go live. So that will help you a lot, because yes, it is time consuming and you have to put a lot of thought into it to make it work for you, but it's definitely worth it because it's free. First of all, it's organic. You don't have to pay for social media marketing. It's free to use, and you can do it yourself. You can definitely make that work. Tool recommendations I have for post scheduling is Hootsuite, for example. That's a tool that I really like. So people can check that out. Hopefully that's helpful.
That's very helpful. Thank you. I was going to be a follow-up question, so you just took that one right out. Yeah. And have you noticed a difference in engagement if somebody's using a scheduling tool versus somebody who is going out of their way to post themselves?
Oh, it's really about the content. The content is what counts. So it doesn't matter if you post it inside the platform itself or use a scheduling tool. So there's no advantage or disadvantage when it comes to that.
Very good. Monique, this has been action packed. I am so appreciative of all of the knowledge that you're sharing with our audience, the tips that you're giving them to be more successful in the efforts. Because at the end of the day, there are a ton of people that I know are listening to this podcast and saying, okay, but I don't have the money to hire an agency right now. These are some things you guys can do for yourself now. Generate some traction, get some revenue built up, and then hire an agency to take it off of your plate so you're not having to do it all by yourself anymore. As business owners, we wear a lot of different hats. It's easy to lose track of things, but the more we can keep track of when it comes to the digital space, the easier it is to pass that off to somebody else when it comes time to relieve ourselves from those responsibilities, where we get to focus on the other things that we love to do inside of our business. Monique, what's going to be the best way for our audience to get in touch with you one more time?
Yeah, so you can check out our website. That's dragon-digital-marketing.com. There's a lot of free resources on there as well, where you can learn everything about digital marketing that you need to know as a small business owner. So check that out for sure. There you can also find all of my social handles. I'm on social media as well: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. So yeah, make sure you check out the website.
Fantastic, Monique. Thank you. I have a couple more questions for you. what's one thing you wish you knew when you were first getting started in business?
I wish I knew more about how hard certain things are
Mm.
and how long certain things take, which takes me back to the general misconception about people having false expectations about, yeah, time frames, how long things take, and what the reality of things are. Because, people, especially on social media, people share only the amazing stuff. They just share the highlights and what's going great. And yeah, success. I got a new contract. I got a new customer, this and that, and they share their amazing stories. I've been able to grow my traffic by 150% or whatever, but nobody ever shares the hardships and the challenges and all of that. So you get a little bit of an unrealistic picture of what people share and what people put out there. So don't get discouraged of that when you see the reality of entrepreneurship and how things are. It's normal. That's normal. So don't feel discouraged. I can definitely understand that a lot right now. It's a challenging time. So a lot of small business owners can get really sad basically and discouraged when things are not going as well for them, and they still see other people on social media posting how allegedly amazing everything's going in their lives. So take that with a grain of salt. People only, post the best things about what's happening and what's going on, and nobody likes to share problems as much. So keep that in mind. I think that's an important tip to have
Mm.
for everybody.
Yeah, so you said two really important tips there, and I found that to be true too. It's always going to take you longer than you think it will. I was doing a video email content yesterday, and it took me way longer than I thought it was going to send out video emails, but they turned out amazing. So, I mean, it's all worth it in the end, but it did take a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So it always takes longer than you think it's going to, for one. And for two, don't compare yourself to others. All we can do is compare ourselves to ourselves. Try and be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. Try and share better content today than you did yesterday. Try and add that value wherever you can. And don't compare your success to somebody else's, because everybody is on a different part of their journey, and everybody is sharing different parts of their story. They're not sharing all of the pieces of that pie. So that's such a great tip for sure. Are there any other tips or habits that you think would be valuable for our business listening audience today?
Yeah, do you have anything specific in mind in particular?
I was just wondering if you had something else you wanted to share.
In general, just never give up. Don't give up. Persevere and just stay consistent with it. It's so worth it.
Yeah, yeah. I think one thing that I really love that you had mentioned too is social media is social. And I've said that for a long time. Social media is social. So figure out a way to engage in conversation, allow for those conversations. Don't shut off commenting on your posts or on your social networks. Keep those comments on, allow people to engage with you and ask you questions, and be responsive. Make sure you respond back to them, because leaving them sit there for too long lets other people know you're not as engaged as you maybe ought to be in your social media space, which then makes them wonder, how engaged are you in the business at large? So just remember, everything that you do and don't do is a reflection of what they can expect inside of your business if they were a client. So think about that. What do you want to be showing? What do you want that reflection to say? And just consider that before you make a post or before you respond to a review, things like that. So very good.
Absolutely. Well said.
Thank you so much, Monique. This has been amazing. Listening audience, I so appreciate you. Hey, if we're on the right track today, please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know that we have added value to you and that we're helping you become more successful in your business, or helping you to formulate what your next step is, whatever that might be for you. We want to know that we're sharing the content that you want to hear. So let us know, like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Leave us a comment. We want that feedback. And thank you all so much for listening, and I look forward to next time.